have you sent any messages of support to the mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Frey?
Yeah, so we've got a group of mayors in the UK, and a few of us got together and sent him a message just over a week ago. I think his leadership in terms of speaking up for particularly minorities in his city is incredibly impressive, and also speaking up for the values that are so important. Just to remind those of your listeners who don't understand the concerns many Americans have, is if you're a person of colour, if you're somebody who wasn't born in America, even if you were born in America, the colour of your skin is different to President Trump's. You're nervous about this tap on your shoulder, or worse, as we saw in Minneapolis. And this anxiety is spreading across many cities in America. I've spoken to many leaders in America. And one of the reasons we sent solidarity to the mayor was because I think he's shown really good leadership, speaking to those values and speaking for those people who are a bit nervous and anxious to put their head above the parapet.
I mean, you would be, wouldn't you, at the moment? Very nervous already.
Yeah, listen, there are parallels here. I remember in 2012 or so when Theresa May was Home Secretary and a chap called Nick Timothy was her advisor. There were these vans saying, "Go home," going around diverse communities in London. And that sent a shiver amongst many ethnic minority communities, because this is our home. And the impression it gives is we are the other and we don't belong. And just the way ICE are behaving, the aggressiveness, the intimidation, we saw the loss of life most recently, is really scary. And the idea that British politicians would want to emulate that and bring a sort of British ICE to the UK should worry us all.
Let's hit the phones.
The first caller is from Wandsworth, a place I know very well. Mohammed, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good to speak to you.
Thank you for having me in. My question to Mr. Sadiq Khan. Hello, Sadiq Khan.
Hiya.
Just recently, the JD Vance have said that the UK is going to become an Islamic nuclear country since the Labour government came into the power. And similar kind of the remarks has been given by the Donald Trump about you and called you a terrible mayor, this kind of the words he said. I do not want to mention these words. My question is that why the US administration interfering into UK domestic politics? UK knows well how to run its country, and these kind of the remarks to give that London has a mayor like this one, does this not mean the disrespect of the London voters, because the Sadiq Khan has been elected through a democratic process? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Why does he have such a problem with you? Why does the whole administration have such a problem with you personally?
Well, look, Mohammed, thanks for your call. Look, my analysis is this. Firstly, I'm not sure why they're obsessed with me, why I'm living rent-free inside their minds. I can hazard a guess, and my guess is this. There is a view some people have, which is there is a clash of civilizations. It's not possible to be a Westerner and a Muslim. It's not possible to be a Westerner and an ethnic minority. It's not possible to be a proud Muslim and to be proudly British and a proud Londoner. But also when you look at London, we are progressive, we are liberal, we are diverse, and we are incredibly successful on a number of metrics: tourism, culture, foreign direct investment, music, sports, homicide rates. We are the world's finest city, the world's greatest city in terms of reducing serious crime and so forth. And we're the antithesis to everything they believe in. So you're a nativist. If you believe in monoculturalism, we are proof that that's nonsense, and that's one of the reasons I suspect they attack London and they attack all we stand for. And by the way, we see parallels with what's happening in New York, an incredibly diverse city, in my view, the second greatest city in the world. I saw the campaign against the Democratic candidate, Zohran Mamdani, and it troubles me because I'm somebody who's tried to bring people together, try and bring communities together, sought to be a mayor for all Londoners, and I'll carry on doing that.
Is it working?
Well, I mean, they would argue, when you look at the results in the US presidential election...
No, I mean, is the demonisation of London working? Because the gulf in the recent YouGov polling between people who live here and our perceptions of how safe the city is and how great the city is, and people who don't live here and largely never visit, the gulf is absolutely incredible, even for people who've been following it as closely as I have. So it's working, right? Look, and it must impact on tourism or investment or these kind of things, and they're lies.
Here's my concern.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why I spent some time last week talking about the evidence, by the way, on just one metrics, since records began, the lowest murders on a per capita basis in London, safer than Paris, Berlin, Brussels, Milan, Rome, Toronto, any state in the USA, more than 2.5 times safer than New York, 5 times safer than LA, 12 times safer than Chicago. Unfortunately, for those people who may read a President Trump tweet or may have certain algorithms on their phone, the narrative they're receiving is London is dangerous. There is Sharia law in London, and so forth. And my anxiety is they may decide not to come here for a holiday. They may decide not to study here, one of our great universities. They may decide not to invest here. They may decide not to shoot a movie here. And that troubles me. And actually, those who've been to London, those that've got business in London, love it. That's one of the reasons why JP Morgan Chase are expanding their footprint in London. Visa are expanding their European headquarters in London. Apple, Google, and I can go on. American companies who know London love it and are expanding here. I worry, though, those Americans across the globe that don't know London, haven't been to London, may wrongly believe that the caricature that's been portrayed about London, the disinformation, the misinformation is true. And that's why all of us who love our capital city, who know the evidence, who are proud patriots, should talk up our city.
What are you going to do about it?
Well, one of the reasons why I love coming to speak to Sadiq on LBC, but also other things that we do, is to, in a non-patronising way, telling the truth, educate people about what's happening in London. You know, we were the #1 city in the world last year for tourism. According to TripAdvisor, we are the best place in the world to go to. We are the sporting capital of the world, and I could go on. The number of artists coming here this
But do we send,
summer.
I mean, I know it's all a little bit cool Britannia, but do we send a sort of road show to New York or to Washington, D.C.?
We're doing that as well.
My have a bigger shop window?
Yeah, my deputy mayor for businesses, as we speak in America, promoting London. The great news is, by the way, as far as foreign direct investment is concerned, we're at record highs, and that's fantastic, and long may that continue. And we're going to carry on banging the drum for this city. By the way, things aren't perfect. I'm the first person to recognise the challenges our great city faces. I'm not complacent. I'm the least complacent person you will find. But let's not pretend things aren't great on a number of metrics as well.
It's not. I mean, there's a lad in Hebden Bridge who's unhappy with the London-centric nature of this feature. Sadiq Khan is a global politician. That's not a particular compliment. It's proved by the amount of headspace that people like Donald Trump and J.D. Vance dedicate to him. So feel free to ask him about anything, whether it's specific to London or not, as Mohammed just did. 0345 6060 is the number that you need. A quick word, I think. I presume you want to congratulate the President on his new Nobel Peace Prize.
Well, I'm not sure if it counts.
What?
If it's been given to you.
No wonder he hates you.
It's been given to you as a sort of implicit plea not to invade your country or not to lock you up as well. Look, I think, generally speaking, there are lots of leaders across the globe that I think are despots, that are autocratic, that I won't shed a tear if they go. I think when you unilaterally remove a leader from a third country, it sets a dangerous precedent. I mean, who will be next? And I think, yes, of course, many people will be pleased that the previous leader of Venezuela, Maduro, is gone. But I think we should just pause and reflect on what it means. And it's almost like you're watching a certain type of Hollywood movie where the number 2 does a deal with, the CIA to take out the number 1 and put you in place. And as a consequence, you agree to give/sell your oil for cheap to the USA. And I think we should be concerned about this. Of course, the USA is a superpower. It is a hyperpower. Of course, we've got a special relationship with the USA. Of course, we need the USA to continue to play a big role across the globe, most recently evidenced by the role they did play. You've got to recognise this in the ceasefire in Gaza, which is really important. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't be nervous and concerned and criticise when we think they do things that are wrong.
Scale of 1 to 10, how pathetic is it of him to accept it?
Oh, I mean, it's true to form, isn't it? I mean, I'm not in favour of generally speaking, giving out marks and stuff, but people have hopefully heard my views on this.